Yeah, so wanted to give a quick overview of my thought process for today, for my trade today. All right, so if you remember well, price traded from the previous day's high yesterday, so Thursday traded off Wednesday's high, gave us that expansion to the low. It didn't quite come back to the low of the week on either of the assets. So if we look, silver came the closest to that price level, but didn't quite go back to the low of the week. So price started to expand back to the highs. So if we just add a little annotation to the charts, that would have been the breaker block that would have been created when price traded through that price level yesterday, and this would have also been that breaker block, right? So that's our invalidation point, so to speak. Invalidation point because it's our breaker block. The normal thing that we would want to see is price to trade back through to that price level and then continue lower. What happened? Price did do that in the Asian session last night, came rejected, but then in London traded back through that price level. So the idea was if price during my session traded to this level and rejected, I would have been looking for sells in New York. But if price traded to that level and traded through it, I would have been looking for buys in New York. So that's exactly what happened. We had some resistance, but then price eventually traded through that price level on all of the assets. Silver, as usual, is a very strong asset. So, and it's usually the leading asset as well. So anything silver does, it's an indication of what the other two will do generally. So coming into New York, we had a retest expansion. So if we just add some more lipstick to the chart, so to speak. So New York starts at 6. New York starts at 6. Right, so that's New York. Um, so if we just add the other quarters, 7:30, 9, and 10:30. Same thing here. Remember what I've done a video explaining all of this already, giving you the quarters and how to set up your charts. All right, so the only cracking correlation that I would have seen today was right here where price traded through this low here. So if you check it, this is another quarter. 4:30 would have been the start of that quarter. So we had a cracking correlation there that created that expansion for the start of New York. All right, so if we look back at the 1 hour time frame, it is even more clear. We had the expansion to the highs, and then in Q3 we now have the retracement. So having that retracement, what would we expect? So we had accumulation, the manipulation here, expansion. If you look at it again, this is also accumulation, manipulation. So we anticipate further expansion. The expansion I anticipate will come back to these highs. So that's the previous day's high. And my entry was right here, this inversion gap. This inversion fair value gap right here was my entry. It lined up perfectly with let me show you the 1 hour fair value gap here. So right here. So if I just move the lines a bit, you'll see more clearly. Price traded back into that. That was my entry on the 1 minute time frame. And I'm anticipating the expansion back to the highs here. Okay. This is a bit noisy, so I'll just end this here. I hope you get the point of what I'm trying to say though. All right. So Thanks for watching again. And of course, I hope you get some value from this video also. All right, have a good Friday and a good rest of the weekend. And we come back with fresh finds on Monday. All right, take care.